Alright boys, floor 5 finally dropped, and yes, I know, I'm a week late, but I have more knowledge than those people who literally posted 5 minutes after the update came out, and have nothing to talk about, but I have up-to-date tip now. But anyways, basically what came in this floor 5 update was, well, floor 5, a new boss, and some new armor and weapons. Now all these armor and swords are basically meant for Beserker, and all the other classes are basically left hanging besides healer, since this fell sword is pretty good, plus tank, the livid dagger is really good for them too. But mage and archer are just sitting there with all their money saved up just to be let down. But if you're a mage like me and just got bored of playing mage and just shooting with your spirit scepter for 5 hours a day, then you can go try Beserker. It'll help gain your kata level up since you have a new motivation to actually grind some dungeons, and Beserker is really fun. So if you're archer, you can also try it because it's just really fun. And especially since spirit scepter prices are just so high right now, people probably saved up their money, and then when floor 5 came out and nothing came out for mages, they probably just bought back their spirit scepters, and now they're at 35 mil. So you can sell your spirit scepter, drop on to this Beserker meta, and it's probably be a lot more fun. But anyways, just a few quick tips before I start this, and just saying, all these sets cost like 15 mil, so if you're broke, then don't watch this. But anyways, a couple of tips we have is this voodoo doll spider pet combo. I made this in another video, but just in case you didn't watch it, voodoo doll paired with the spider pet, and if you have your spider pet on and shoot your voodoo doll at like LAs or shadow assassins, they're basically just stunned. They're kind of like an ice spray wand, but at that point you could just put on your tiger and kind of just sit right here, pretend this block is a shadow assassin, kind of just hit them right there. They keep backing up, you get them into a corner, and then they die in 5 seconds. So that's just a quick tip. And one last tip is to get crit 6. Obviously this is really cheap, really effective, and it'll add up, especially if you're doing like 2 mil at the start. Now you're doing 2 mil, 200k, and it's going to be really effective, especially if you're spending like 15 mil on your sword. Alright, so 3 weapons got added in the new update. You got the fell sword, you've got the livid dagger, and the shadow fury. I'll go by each of them one by one, and let's start off with the fell sword. So fell sword is a great budget item if you are a bez and you can afford the 15-30 mil that you're going to spend on these other swords, but it gives you great damage, but it is main towards healer. So fell sword is a healer class item since it buffs healer a little bit, but it does really good damage. So if you can't afford one of these other ones, definitely go for this budget sword. And if you guys want to look at the stats, it actually has an increase. So whenever you kill like 100 kills, you get an extra damage. So basically you have a max of, you just add 100 damage onto that. So now you're getting 300 damage and 135 strength, base stats, not in dungeons. And it gives you that healer dungeon class up bonus, which is also really good. But you guys can see that my livid dagger has horrible base stats, but this is definitely a great budget item, and has only 2 mil right now actually. So definitely get that if you can't afford one of these. But yeah. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the Shadow Fury. This got added and probably was one of the biggest items at the start, and was going for like 70-80 mil. It's dropped down to 30 mil because people realized that the livid dagger is actually better than it, and it's still a great sword though. It gives incredible base stats, better than the fell sword, along with a sick ability that lets you teleport everywhere, and also some nice speed if you want to just, since you're a berserker, run around and kill people. But the livid dagger is actually the best out of these 3. But basically, livid dagger's base stats are kind of trash, but it makes up for that in a lot of other ways. Now, before you go spending 30 mil on your Shadow Fury, just let me get these facts out first. starts out with 100% crit chance and 100% attack speed, so you're not going to have to waste your armor set on pure or attack speed like I said in my other video, but reforge them to damage instead, like Fierce. Since pure has no point, since you already get attack speed and crit chance, so if you're going for a Beserker, Fierce is going to be the way to go, especially if you have this Livid Dagger. You're going to get great damage, great strength, and with just the set alone is going to make back some of the lost base stats of the Livid Dagger. Also, your accessory bag, most of your uncommon or epic talismans, if you are a good Beserker, are going to be reforged for attack speed. But now with this Livid Dagger, you don't need that. You can reforge it to something like Forceful or Strong or anything that gives you good attack damage, and you won't have to worry about attack speed. So that's already increasing the base stats by a ton, and is probably almost as good as Shadow Fear already, but that's not even talking about the other ability, and I'm not talking about the Throw Dagger because that's honestly horrible. 150 mana and it does 20k damage. I don't know if that's a glitch or something, but don't look at that. But the thing below it, your critical hits deal 50% more damage. That's basically saying you deal 50% more damage since you do have 100% crit chance here. And that's basically putting crit 5 plus crit 6. Now you have crit 11, critical 11, which is pretty good. Now you're going to be doing way more than Shadow Fury and have 100% attack speed and crit chance, which in my opinion is way better. Plus, I don't get what this is, but 150% when you're behind the target. Honestly, this doesn't really matter since you're going to be one-shotting all the mobs, but maybe in floor 6 or 7 this is going to help. But yeah, that's basically the weapon you're going to want. This is literally the new meta, so get this if you want to save your time on reforges and do way more damage. So basically get it. Armor, obviously you're going to reforge to Fierce. Oh yeah, reforge for your Livid Dagger, go for Fabled or Spicy. Fabled because damage and strength, Spicy for damage. You wouldn't want any other thing since you don't need crit chance or attack speed anymore. So yeah, just go for max amount of damage. But for your armor, you're going to want Shadow Assassin Helmet or Shadow Assassin armor, 3/4 at least, at most. These are basically adaptive armor, which was the second best Beserker armor, but better. They give you way more crit damage, strength, and crit chance, but that doesn't really matter. If we look at this adaptive chest, it's currently giving us 85 strength. That's because the Beserker gives because it's adaptive, it gives 20 strength and all, but it gives 40 crit damage and 80 strength, and just the leggings alone give you 90 strength and 106 crit damage, which I'd say is better, obviously, but it's way better. Adaptive, but better. Also more HP, defense, and a new thing of speed. It also gives you this weird ability of restores 1% of your maximum health when you teleport. Honestly, I don't get what this does, and grants invisibility and speed when you teleport. For some reason, I teleport, now I'm invisible. It does nothing because the mobs literally still hit me, but I guess I get some speed. I don't know, but basically it's just upgraded adaptive to keep it short. It's a little more expensive, and that's why I don't have the chest plate right now. Chest plate costs 5 mil in the box, but on auction right now it costs 30 mil. So just get like an adaptive chest plate for a placeholder, or if you're broke, go for like an epic zombie knight piece or something. But yeah, definitely just go for some Fierce Shadow Assassin armor, because this is basically way better than adaptive. If you're a Beserker, it's just insane. It's also good for tank, just saying. Helpful tips, but Shadow Assassin is just really good. And lastly, we have the pets. So the Griffin pet just got added into the game when the mayor event happened, and it's a lot of debate from Tiger versus Griffin. To be honest, I like Tiger better. It's cheaper and I feel like it's more effective. I haven't got it yet since it costs 60 mil to get like a level 1. So this Tiger pet, I think it gives more crit damage and more strength, but Griffin actually gives Magic Find and Intelligence. Magic Find is probably the only thing I'm going to look at, but it does. Legendary Griffin actually gives you like some weird strength buffs and stuff, but personally I just think Tiger Pet is better. I bet I'm wrong, but most of you probably won't spend 60 mil or 70 mil on one of these, and if you're that rich you can probably get like an E-Jag pet, which is the best pet. But otherwise, if you have like 14 mil, get a Tiger or something. If you have less than that, just go for like an uncommon Griffin or whatever, because this is basically like an epic or legendary Griffin, but worse. That's obvious, but Tiger Pet, if you have a decent amount of money, and it's really gonna help, especially against LAs or those boss fight rooms where no one's around and that Apex Predator thing will kick in. So yeah, the pets are pretty short. No dungeon pets have been added for Beserker, or no pets at all for dungeon items. So, but that's basically my quick guide on Beserker. Now, if you're wondering how much damage I do as Beserker with the Dungeons 5 pot, which I highly recommend you get, I do around 1.3 mil damage at the start of a dungeon. When I hit them in the back, I do 2.6 mil, and at the end of the dungeon, if I hit them in the back, I do like 4 mil. So it's honestly really good, and if you're a Beserker, definitely get this, or if you're any other class, you can try switching to the Beserker because it's really fun. But anyways, that's just my Beserker guide. If you have any other content ideas that I could use, please let me know in the comments, or anything you guys want, like help if you want me to play some dungeons with you or something. But anyways, that's my Beserker guide, and peace.